Welcome, thank you. Top of the almost morning to you. Happy St. Patrick's Day. This is interesting. There's a bit of history I didn't know. I Googled St. Patrick today, and the first line that came back was St. Patrick wasn't actually Irish. That's fake news, too? Who the hell knew that? St. Patrick is believed to have been born in Scotland to Roman parents, which would mean he was Italian. When he was 16 years old, St. Patrick was kidnapped and taken to Ireland as a slave. And now here we are today going, kiss me, Slagic. Some story. No reason to celebrate. And the shamrock, you know why the shamrock is the national symbol of Ireland? Guillermo, go ahead, explain.
Oh, I don't know, Jimmy.
You don't know? Okay,
No,
because, according to legend anyway, St. Patrick, the Italian guy, he said, I need some parsley for my linguine vongole. No, he found a three-leaf clover, and he picked it, and he used it to explain the concept of the Holy Trinity, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit being one and three at the same time. But it's a good thing a three-legged dog didn't walk by, or Ireland would have a pretty weird national symbol right now. Here in the United States, celebrations were scaled back this year because there's some kind of virus going around. But there's one tradition I refuse to surrender to COVID or to anything. Every year on St. Patrick's Day, going back 15 years now, we show what I still believe is the greatest local news story in the history of television. So let's take a trip now to the year 2006 to the town of Mobile, Alabama, where crowds gathered to lay eyes on a real-life leprechaun.
Curiosity leads to large crowds in Mobile's Crichton community, many of you bringing binoculars, camcorders, even camera phones to take pictures.
To me, it look like a leprechaun to me. All I gotta do is look up in the tree. Who else seen the leprechaun? Say yeah!
Big ass have it. Unfortunately, the news cameras did not capture the leprechaun or say yeah, but luckily there was a very talented artist on hand to help.
Eyewitnesses say the leprechaun only comes out at night. If you shine a light in its direction, it suddenly disappears. This amateur sketch resembles what many of you say the leprechaun looks like.
That's him, officer. That's the guy who stole my pot of gold. Not everyone in Crichton believed the leprechaun hype. This woman had a much more practical hypothesis for what might be in that tree.
Others find it hard to believe and have come up with their own theories and explanations for the image.
Could be a crackhead that got hold to the wrong stuff, and it told him to get up in a tree and play a leprechaun.
Alex, isn't the crackhead who got the wrong stuff? Wasn't that one of the Dr. Seuss books that got? Yeah, right. Anyway, happy St. Patrick's Day. I'm going to tell my kids that this incident is how the holiday started. Oh. Our Irish-American president went to Mass this morning at St. Patrick's Church in Wilmington. He also sat down with George Stephanopoulos. Joe Biden said, among other things, that Vladimir Putin will pay a price for Russia's interference in our last two elections. It's interesting, when Joe Biden says someone will pay a price, he means he'll impose sanctions or freeze bank accounts. When Putin says someone will pay a price, they're eating a plutonium and cheese McMuffin. But the director of national intelligence issued a major report yesterday. It says Russia actively worked to meddle in our election again. According to the report, Russia's mission in 2020 was denigrating President Biden's candidacy and the Democratic Party, supporting Donald Trump, undermining public confidence in the electoral process, and exacerbating socio-political divisions in the United States. Well, not according to Rudy Giuliani, they didn't. I mean, and who do they think we're going to believe, these national intelligence clowns or America's mayor? A man who loves this country so much he dyes his hair with chocolate syrup and shouts about election fraud from the alley behind a butt plug store. Who do you think? I was thinking about that today. I still can't believe it happened. The report also confirms that some of Trump's closest allies were duped into sharing Russian disinformation. I'm guessing one of those dupes is Mike Lindell, the MyPillow guy, who's currently on the run. The Pillow Man says he's been away from his home for months, moving between undisclosed locations for fear of unnamed enemies.
Are you saying that you're living in an undisclosed location because of?
I absolutely move around to undisclosed locations. I've canceled events. I did a Zoom call the other day. I was going to be there in person, but it's just too risky. I'm not going to put other people in jeopardy and or myself.
Mike believes that a sophisticated cabal of deep state operatives rigged an election, but they can't find the Super 8 motel he's broadcasting live on Twitch from. How hard could it be to fight Mike Lindell? If you see a guy in the street and you think, that guy looks like a Canadian serial killer, it's probably him. The reason Lindell is on the run is because he knows too much. You may remember he repeatedly promised to release shocking information that would prove Donald Trump won the election that he didn't win. On December 21st, Lindell said, "We have all the evidence, biggest election fraud in world history." January 19th, in an email to NBC, he said, "China and others used the machines to corrupt our election. Here is one page of proof." And then there was nothing attached to the email. So he sent another email with an empty attachment, and then a third email with a bunch of screenshots of illegible text. On February 2nd, on Newsmax, he said, "We have 100% proof." February 4th, he said, "It's all coming out tomorrow." February 10th, an interview with Steve Bannon, he said, "I'm 100%. We have all the proof. It's just coming out now. I have 100% proof." February 22nd, he tells Business Insider he's got a massive team of lawyers and all the evidence needed to prove his case. March 5th, he said he's going to make a couple more documentaries to show all the new evidence. And when you see this, 100% you're all in. And here we are on March 17th. Maybe he was the crackhead in the tree, you know? It would actually make more sense. Our crazy ex-president is back at it. Last night, Donnie dialed up the welcome mat known as Maria Bartiromo for a 21-minute-long chat that covered a variety of subjects, including whether or not the MAGA gang should get the vaccine.
Would you recommend to our audience that they get the vaccine then?
I would recommend it, and I would recommend it to a lot of people that don't want to get it, and a lot of those people voted for me, frankly. But, you know, again, we have our freedoms, and we have to live by that, and I agree with that also.
Well, it's that kind of decisiveness that made him the greatest president since Abraham Lincoln. I can't believe I voted for that guy twice. Trump also took time to celebrate the imaginary wall he now claims is almost finished.
Well, my policies were working better than they've ever seen on the southern border. The wall is almost complete. We just had to fix little sections. They could have it finished in a month, and it would be just magnificent. It already is magnificent, and they should finish it. But they're destroying our country. They're coming in now from Yemen. They're coming in from the Middle East. They're coming in from everywhere. They're dropping them off, and they're pouring into our country. It's a disgrace. They're going to destroy our country if they don't do something about it.
Right. They're coming in through the little holes we could have finished in a month from Yemen. Do you think he knows we don't share a border with Yemen? His Majesty also weighed in on the very important subject of Meghan Markle.
I'm not a fan of hers. I think that what she talks about the royal family and the Queen, I happen to think I know the Queen, as you know. I've met with the Queen, and I think the Queen is a tremendous person, and I'm not a fan of Meghan.
Right. Meghan Markle, Megyn Kelly, Meghan McCain. The guy has a problem with Megans across the board. It's Meghan America great again. Trump also believes that he is not getting the credit he deserves for the vaccine. It's driving him nuts that Joe Biden is actually getting the vaccine into people's bodies. Trump wants everyone to know that the hero of this story is him.
We got a vaccine done in 9 months, and fortunately, that's not only going to save our country, it's going to save the world. And it's really saving our country, and it's saving, frankly, the world. And then when you add the fact that I was the one, and this administration was the one that came up with a vaccine, which is going to save the world, okay?
Weren't you the one telling everyone to drink bleach? That was him, right? A recent poll showed that almost half of Trump supporters are either hesitant or refuse to get the vaccine. So health experts, including Dr. Fauci, have been hopeful that Trump would give it an endorsement. And finally, he did that today in his own special way.
Last year, my administration launched a very powerful Operation Warp Speed. It was an operation like nobody's ever seen before. And we developed a vaccine, a beautiful, you know what, almost you could say miracle. I'm going to say miracle vaccine, and we did it. Joe Biden didn't do it. Gracie Nancy didn't do it. Trump did it, okay? Trump did it. And now they want to take the credit, and we can't let that happen. So we all need to go and get that Trump shot. I call it the Trump shot. Many people are calling it that. The Trump shot, that's what they say. And we need to get it right away and stay well so we can fight for America and fight for all the, you know what, to take things back. We need to take things back. They very much need to be taken back because they're very bad right now. And maybe worse. Maybe they're worse than bad. We've never seen things this bad, frankly, even though we have the beautiful Trump vaccine, which is just incredible. So don't let Sleepy Joe give the shot I gave you to illegal immigrants, bad hombres, in caravans crossing our borders with windmills from Antifa. So go on down and get that beautiful vaccine. It's so safe. It's the most safe. They say it's the safest vaccine since Abraham Lincoln, if you can imagine that. So go down, get that vax, break in if you have to. I can't say that, but you know what? Break in and let them know Trump sent you.
All right. Well, you heard him. Spread it around on Facebook. We've been combing through our Corona archives as we mark 1 year in captivity. We've been looking back at what was in the news this week a year ago, and we've cleverly titled it This Week in COVID History.
This week in COVID history. It's the second half of March 2020. Streets are quiet, except for the sound of drive-by birthday parties, the newest craze, along with ovations for hospital workers. Two things we absolutely will never stop doing. Say, move over, LGBTs. There's a new identity in town. Cuomo-sexual, a new term for Empire State Governor Andrew Cuomo, America's favorite fella.
Release the ventilators to New York.
This sexy fella won't take no for an answer. Down Florida way, spring break is springing.
If I get corona, I get corona. At the end of the day, I'm not going to let it stop me from partying.
And speaking of dum-dums, here's Congressman Devin Nunes.
It's a great time to just go out, go to a local restaurant.
Yeah.
Likely you can get in easily.
Corona appetit. Back to Walla Walla, D.C., where President Trump is holding a press conference.
What do you say to Americans who are watching you right now who are scared?
I say that you're a terrible reporter. That's what I say.
You tell him. So when will things get back to normal?
I think Easter Sunday, and you'll have packed churches all over our country. I think it would be a beautiful time. And it's just about the timeline that I think is right.
By gum, America has never been in safer or smaller hands. This has been This Week in COVID History.
He didn't, you know what? He didn't say which Easter Sunday. He just said Easter Sunday. Congratulations on making it to the end of a YouTube video. Why not celebrate by clicking the subscribe button? You earned it.